Morning, Bill Kim here. As we say every week, I am the pastor of the Presbyterian and the Congregational Churches here in Clarion, and my friend Ted Bunn and I are trying to do these little 2 to 3 minute blurbs where we talk about the sermon of the day. Today we talked about 2 Kings chapter 4, and in 2 Kings chapter 4 there's the story of Elisha, the prophet. Actually, there's 4 stories in there where Elisha is used by God to be the vehicle by which His grace, His love, His abundance, His healing is shared with other people. There's some really good stories there. The very first one in 2 Kings chapter 4 is about a gal who is hungry and without food and without money, and the debt collectors are going to come and take her boys as slaves to pay off the debt. And Elisha speaks to her, and she says, "Well, all I have is a little bit of oil left." And Elisha says, "Gather together a bunch of containers. Don't just get a few. Ask your neighbors. Round up all the containers you can get. Go in the house and close the doors and begin to pour from that oil container." And she does that. And she pours 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 containers full of oil. And she finally says, "Bring me the last container." And the boys say, "That's all there is, Mom." And she says, "We are done." And the oil stops flowing. And she talks to the prophet, and he says, "Sell what you have, pay off your debt, and then use what's left for you and the boys to survive." God's abundance, God's grace, God's provision is boundless. What we talked about this morning was the trick in some of that is that we are called to be Elisha. We are called to be the conduit. We are called to be the vehicles by which God's grace reaches out to others. So that means that I have to be involved in these everyday miracles where people have things that have needs that have to be met. I have to be involved in these everyday things where people have crises or situations where they need prayer or $1 or a loaf of bread or whatever. Like Elisha, we are called, you and I, to be vehicles of God's grace, vehicles of God's mercy and love, and to do what we can that miracles might be in everybody's life. Thank you.